Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paulina Luna, a Republican from Florida. Paulina Luna, which has a very euphonic name. It's very fun to say. It's it'll purr your teeth, curl your hair, and give your tongue a sleigh ride. That's it. Paulina Luna says, we want the truth. Unredacted Epstein files must be released, says Congresswoman. She and a couple others have been put in charge of releasing these things, and for some reason, they are being stonewalled by Pam Bondi or other people, and yet at the same time, I have no idea why they wouldn't be able to get it themselves under order from the president if he really wants them released. He's met with them. They've been in his office. So why in the office you go, hey, could you sign a thing that allows us access to these things? Right? Why wouldn't you be able to do that? Anyways, Paulina Luna was accused of being a witch by the other Republicans she was running against. There may be some residual shit to that. We'll see. I mean, I don't have a problem with her being a witch. It's kind of like the Republicans are always accusing each other of shit that Democrats don't care about. Being trans, being a witch, being polyamorous, whatever, having an open relationship. Like, I don't care. As long as you're who you are and you're not, it's consenting adults, I give a shit. I'll judge you by what you do as a representative of your district. Or how much you live by the standards you set. Something like that. Anyways, she's been put in charge of like this little Epstein subcommittee, I guess. So here we go.
Luna is here now. Congresswoman, how hard is it to say what you did last week?
Well, if you're asking me what I did, I'd be happy to report that I'm actually in the process of trying to codify via an amendment everything that Doge is doing. And it's not that hard if you go through the bullet points. But I think what more people are more shocked by is that Elon Musk, in sending out this email, is really pushing back on the way as usual in Washington, D.C., but also across the country for many of these people that have
the way as usual? What is this? The Tao of government? You mean business as usual?
been inhabiting these positions, hoping to just collect a retirement.
Here's an idea. Don't wear a bill cap in the fucking White House. Take your fucking hat off. As a point of respect. And especially the one with the Nazi lettering on it. Because, again, he picked this specific German lettering for his Make America Great Again dark MAGA hat that he wears around as a badge, as gang wear.
And not actually show up to work.
Yeah, I can't imagine someone's on Social Security and they're not alive and someone's pulling all that cash out of the system on their behalf. What's going on with...
Yeah, prove they are before you cut other people's benefits?
The Epstein files, Congresswoman?
Well, I'm really actually happy that you asked that question. So
she's really actually happy that you asked that question, Jesse. She's really actually happy.
I was tasked with the task force on declassification.
She was tasked with the task force, and she was really actually happy that you asked about her being tasked with the task force.
And to look forward and investigate the files once they are released from the...
To look for... Did she say look for or look forward? Like look forward to? That's her gig? That's the gig? What do you do? I hope.
Classification. To look forward and investigate the files once they are released.
To look forward and investigate the files once they're released. Okay. If they're released, what the fuck do we need you for? For real. Sorry. So you're going to start this shit off with Doge is cutting government waste, and they're making sure that there aren't redundancies in the government. And then you're telling us that after all the shit is released, you're going to investigate, as if the entire fucking country won't have access to the exact same fucking files. And we'll do it for fucking free. What do you mean? Oh, all right. Who the fuck are these people?
direct from the Attorney General's office. Now, I want to be clear about something. What we found in the last couple of weeks and what's definitely apparent is there's absolutely a war taking place in the intelligence agencies, right? We saw the CIA was reporting that they're worried about their own people leaking secrets to foreign countries. And we were also notified last week that there was a whistleblower that came forward stating that there was evidence being destroyed at the FBI. As soon as the FBI found out President Trump won the election, they started their deep state nonsense. And so I have full faith in Kash Patel.
Hey, asshole. No. We're not waiting for anything to come from their office. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both said they already saw the stuff. They already have access to it. They already have copies. Yes. Meanwhile, where's Hunter's laptop? Do you guys still have it? You guys, it must be kicking around there somewhere. Hey, while you're looking for all the Epstein stuff that they allegedly were trying to shred, even though it's digital, what are they doing? Shredding emails? Is that what they were doing?
Tell and AG Bondi to deliver those files. But I want to be very clear about something. The American people want the truth. We don't want redactions. And although we are same team,
hang on. I happen to be an American citizen, and I am totally fine with the victims' names being redacted. I think women who were sexually trafficked and assaulted when they were underage don't have a moral responsibility to have their name bandied about for the rest of their fucking lives. So no, I don't need pure transparency in that. How about just all the perpetrators, because the girls were underage, leave the underage girls alone. I don't need full transparency. Just leave them out of it. They didn't ask to be a part of it. And even if they did, they were underage when it happened, and they can't consent because they were underage. Fuck you. No. So I'm saying I'm fine with that part. I don't need to know the names of the victims. Well, I'm fine with just the perps, dummy.
Going to continue to press for that transparency because that is exactly what the American people asked for when they elected President Trump.
Good.
No, certainly not in regard to this shit. Because again, if you cared about the Epstein story, why would you ever vote for his running buddy?
Glad to hear you're on it, and I'm glad to hear that we're smoking out some of these saboteurs. Congresswoman, have a great weekend.
Hold on. What are you glad to hear, Jesse? You fucking moron. Wait. Run that by me again.
That is exactly what the American people asked for when they elected President Trump.
Good. I'm glad to hear you're on it, and I'm glad to hear that we're smoking out some of these saboteurs.
Okay. Glad to hear you're on it. What's she on? Besides what? Adderall? Because I guess that's the Florida sniff of choice these days. What's she on? For real. She just told us she's looking forward to the files when they come out, and she'll investigate them after they come out. And again, what do we need her for? Why is that important? How is that being on top of it? On top of it would be making sure the stuff comes out. Getting access to it yourself and making sure that what is released is everything. Right? That would be what you do. She went nowhere near that. Now, before Trump got elected, that's how she spoke. Now that he's in the office, this is not how she talks about this stuff. None of them. They're all talking about, well, there's some fake stuff in there that you got to watch out for. But, we want transparency is very important. So our process will be completely transparent. Motherfucker, we don't care about your process. If the documents that come out are all the documents that are available, minus the redacted names of the victims themselves, again, just to be clear, I don't give a fuck how you came about it if you did it legally. And saboteurs, sorry, you do realize there's one person that if Kash Patel and Pam Bondi called SDNY and said, give us all the Epstein files you have, there is one person who could call them and say, don't. There is one person who could call and override the request from Pam Bondi, override the request from Kash Patel, if they even made them. One person. Donald John Trump. That's who. Their boss. can call fucking SDNY and go, as a presidential directive, I am telling you that these things are secret for, we're seizing them for national security reasons, and don't give them to them, and don't tell them why either. We have reasons. One fucking person, Trump. That's it. And the idea that these guys are like, I don't even know how this even happened. Golly. I mean, we should have access to all this stuff, you'd think. Yeah, except for the fact that Donald Trump is a co-conspirator. I mean, you think the fucking Russia shit is? Here's a good one for you. I got a new one. Here's a new one for you, asshole. How about this? Epstein. Anytime Trump says Russia, from now on, the response should be, well, that's not our biggest concern. Right now, we're concerned about Epstein. Right? Let him try to push back on that shit. They're always with the Russia. I don't give a shit about Russia. I care about Epstein. Why? Why does he get arrested and die in custody when Donald Trump is president? Why does his place get raided and all the shit disappears while Donald Trump is president? Why does Donald Trump promise to release all this shit? And even the right wing is starting to wake up to the fact that maybe this motherfucker does not want you to know how close he was to Epstein. Hashtag Epstein. Hashtag Doge is a heist. I'm fine. I'm all right. Now, the upside of this, I will say, is that this is the first opportunity that I've seen where the right in the media, the right-wing side of the media, is seemingly all Glenn Beck joking about Stu being on the list aside, is seriously upset about this stuff not coming out. This is the first time. They don't give a fuck about the price of eggs right now. They're just blowing it off entirely. They don't give a shit about the projections by the Atlanta Fed that we're going to have negative 2.8% growth this year, which would, and in quarter one. And that means if it's followed up with the tariffs, there's no way we don't enter a recession this year. Right? So none of that stuff registers with them, seemingly. Oh, beg your pardon, JD Christie. That's a good point. I don't think my thing is in there for some reason because I switched over computers. Hold on, I'll do it. Thank you for that. These folks don't get upset with Trump about anything. But they do get, let's see this. Where are you? That's funny. It's going to be, it's on a hard drive. How about this one? Yeah. There is, let's see if this wakes this thing up. You silly thing. They don't care about any of this, any of the rest of this stuff we talk about. Stuff that matters to us, fucking food aid to children, any of that stuff. They don't care. But they do care about this. They do seem to care about this. And I would argue, let's see if this is in here. Silly thing. Where are you, Flicker? You silly doggy. Let's see, I picked something. I'm looking for something. Hold on. That's not it. 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 That's cool, though. I should put that in there. I don't know why I don't. And so we can make them care about it more, is my argument. I think we now have a chance to recognize an area where they at least want to be seen giving a shit. Right? They have made this standard important to themselves. I call bullshit on it, but I think we can, drive them towards it. Sorry, husband. Carl Dean just passed away. Dolly Parton's husband. By the way, I think I'm been dealing with the Gene Hackman stuff like everybody else has, just like, waiting for it to almost settle before we, go into, the work that he did and, my favorite stuff that he's done and, just in dealing with it. But it seems like it's still up in the air as they answer what really happened. Not that it matters. It doesn't affect his existence. He lived to be, 95 years old. And was an incredible performer. I just watched The Firm the other night, and he's fucking fantastic in it. Just some terrific stuff. And like a wonderful body of work. Before I go, though, let me see. I'm not going to be able to throw the Venmo because I don't have the still on here. I will make sure I have it by the next broadcast, if that's okay with you guys. I'm going to grab something else while I'm at it, though, because pictures, where is it? Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to throw this guy in here because I like it. 1 second. Now you like them apples. Just put this down here in the corner. Kind of cool. I'm just saying. I know it's a little over the top, but I made it a long time ago, and I was looking for the Venmo, and it popped into my file. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that thing. I was experimenting with little moving 3D things. I also, by the way, had a version of it that, if I can get my mouse over to the right page, a version that had, let's see if I can scroll this over to this guy. Where are you crazy thing? Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. It's right there. Because I've done a bunch of these, I was working on these little rotating 3D things, and we'd had Infotainment Wars for a long time. And I was like, I've had this thing forever. Here, I'll show you. Whoops. Link. Where are you? Here you go. Grab it. There you go. Here you go. Boink. This little guy. That one up there in the corner. The Infotainment Wars rotating cube. Because I think we did that a long time ago when InfoWars had their little thing rolling around. And I was like, I made one in some program that came up and it had just been sitting on a hard drive forever. Yes, he's fantastic in Mississippi Burning. He was fantastic in so much work. So I just want to say, like, it's not that I don't want to address it or whatever. I always feel like these things are awkward in general. But I also just feel like it should settle and have time to pass and people find out what happened if it matters to them, and then deal with his death afterwards. But at 95, what an amazing life, you know. I almost feel like it's to be 95 years old and go out so dramatically. It's the actor's gift. I think it's probably workable.